Hi guys, check this out. I think a lot of brands are sitting on content they don't even realize they have. There are brands sitting on hundreds of product photos right now, and none of them is making a single dollar. Not because the photos are bad, not because the product isn't good, but because a photo just sits there. It doesn't move. It doesn't stop a scroll. It doesn't tell a story. So let me ask you something. How many product images do you actually have right now? In your camera roll, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, wherever you keep them. 10, 50?
Maybe a few hundred that have just been sitting there collecting digital dust. And out of all of those,
How many are actively doing anything for you? Because today I'm going to show you how we took a single product image, just one, and turned it into a fully animated video ad. No shoot, no studio, no photographer, no waiting. And once you see how simple this workflow actually is, you are going to look at your camera roll very differently. But before I show you how we built it, take a look at what we actually made. Okay, let's build it. Before we even think about creating a video, we need to talk about scenes first. Because here's something I learned the hard way. It doesn't matter how good your animation is. If the environment around your product looks boring, the whole video still feels off. The animation can't save it. So instead of jumping straight into video generation, we're gonna do something first, and we're gonna build a whole world around this product.
Head over to AI Image. We're using GPT Image 2 for this one. And I know what you're probably thinking right now. Why are we using an image generator when we already have a perfectly good product photo? Because we're not trying to recreate the product. We are trying to create what's missing around it. And that environment, that's actually what makes a product video feel premium. So for this example, we're working with a canned juice product. And now we start describing the scenes we actually want to see this product living in. I know you're also wondering why GPT Image 2 and not the usual Nano Banana, and that is because every AI model has its strength, and you need to know where each is good at to use them appropriately. For GPT Image 2, it is best for information architecture. In simple words, it retains whatever information is on your product image with little to no errors. So for our first scene, we wanted something clean, yellow, and white, bright, energetic. The kind of setup that just immediately feels refreshing the second you see it. How did we create this? We used image to image on GPT IMG2, uploaded our product image as a reference, described what scene and background we wanted to create. And as they say, the rest is history. I know getting inspiration for your product image can be tricky if you have to think about it all by yourself, which is why you can check out ideas on Pinterest or Google Images, download any image that you feel fits your brand, and then head to ChatGPT or Gemini. Upload the inspiration image and instruct it to provide an accurate prompt to describe the image. Once that is obtained, you head over to VidAU, upload your own product image, and apply the prompts generated by either ChatGPT or Gemini. Select other settings and you are good to go.
for the second scene, we went in a completely different direction, something natural. Leaves, a bit of nature, fresh ingredients in the frame.
Because that reinforces the actual story of the product. It's not just a drink, it's something fresh, something real.
Apply the same process to your second image. If you need the exact prompt used for our image generation, you can click the link in our bio for the full process. And for a third variation, we brought in actual fruit, splash effects, a bit more energy, a bit more movement in the scene itself.
And honestly, this is the part I think people don't realize until they try it. You're not limited to just one image.
You can upload multiple shots of your product, different angles, different framing, and generate them as one image. Like this. So whether you're working with skincare, jewelry, food, drinks, electronics, doesn't matter what the product is. The goal stays exactly the same every time. Create scenes that make your product feel alive. Now that we've got all our scenes built, this is where it actually starts moving, literally. We're using Seedance 2.0 for this tutorial. We are working with Seedance 2 for this animated product video because of the complexity of using it with faces. It is best suited for a video that requires no AI avatar. Also, it is one of the best when it comes to understanding complex prompts, which is what we would be using for our videos. Now that you understand, let's head over to Reference to Video, select Seedance 2.0, and now we're going to take the images we just built and bring them to life. For our first scene, we're using a start frame and an end frame. So this first image becomes the opening moment of the clip, and this second one becomes where it ends up. Basically, you're telling the model, start here, finish there. Now figure out the movement in between. And that's exactly what we do next. We write a prompt describing what should actually happen between those two frames. Camera movement, splash effects, the product shifting or rotating, whatever motion fits the story you're trying to tell in that scene. Then you just choose your settings, aspect ratio, resolution, and hit generate. And there it is, our first animated product scene done. Already feeling like something you'd actually stop scrolling for. Okay, let's build our second scene. Same approach as before, start frame and end frame. You pick the image you want the scene to open on, and then you pick the image you want it to land on. Then we write our prompt.
Honestly, this is worth repeating every single time. The better your prompt, the better your result.
That never changes no matter how many scenes you're building. If you're stuck on writing prompts, ChatGPT works, Gemini works, Grok works. Or honestly, just describe what you're trying to achieve in plain language. What's happening, how it feels, what moves. Build your prompt from that. And there's our second scene.
Now this next one, we're doing something a little different. No start frame, no end frame this time, just one image.
So you upload your image, write your prompt, and just tell the model exactly what you want to happen from there. Maybe you want the liquid moving. Maybe you want the camera slowly pushing in. Maybe you want the fruit elements drifting or animating around the can. Whatever motion you're imagining, this is where you describe it. And just like that, another scene, completely different energy from the last two.
And honestly, from here, it's just rinse and repeat, scene by scene, prompt by prompt, decision by decision.
Because every scene is doing its own job. Different environment, different story beat, different kind of movement. There's no fixed rule here. It really just comes down to what kind of movement you're trying to create in that specific moment. And you can keep layering in elements as you go. Water, fruit, lighting, smoke, splashes, basically anything that makes the product feel more alive in that frame. Now, obviously, I can't sit here and walk you through every single prompt we used for every scene in this video. That'd take forever. So we've actually put everything in the description for you. The prompts, the generated images, the video prompts, all the assets we use throughout this tutorial. Use them as a starting point or adapt them however fits your own product. They're there for you either way. Okay, and now we get to my actual favorite part of this whole process. Watching everything we just built finally come together as one video. At this point, honestly, the hard work is already done. Every scene exists. Every animation is ready. Now we're just stitching it all into a story. You can use whatever editing software you're comfortable with, free, paid, doesn't matter. Use whatever fits your workflow. Arrange your clips in order, add your transitions, layer in some sound effects, drop in your music, and just let the story come together naturally. And now, let's actually watch this. And that's genuinely it. One product image, one workflow. And now you've got content that actually moves, that catches attention, while people are scrolling instead of just sitting quietly in a folder somewhere.
And I think that's the part I really want you to take away from this, because it applies way beyond product photos.
You don't always need more content to solve a content problem. Sometimes you just need to do more with what you already have.
Because those product images are sitting in your camera roll right now.
They're not just photos waiting for a shoot day that may or may not happen. They're potential video ads, potential scroll stoppers, potential content, just waiting for the right workflow. So if you've been holding off on video content because you felt like you didn't have enough to work with, you probably already do. I'm Vivi. I'll see you in the next one.